Covenant family, hello on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Today is October the 8th, 2024. This is a public service announcement from me to you. So if you saw me post earlier, yesterday, the day before yesterday, depending on the algorithm for Facebook, you might have seen the post, but I posted a couple things that were very pertinent that are on the table today. And two of them are surveys that are needed to be completed for the state and also for our local county. The county survey is for the Black women of Chester County in action, to have your voice, to have your experience heard and shared in regards to our reproductive and birthing liberties and justice. That's a fact. The other is on the state level as well. They are addressing the Black maternal mortality and morbidity that is happening, because nonetheless, for every effort that is made for prevention, the numbers are continuing to rise. So we are still dying at alarming rates compared to our counterparts, and it is important, but most importantly, it has to be important for you. So I want to read this. It's something that I wrote in regards to my passion, because y'all know I can be very passionate. So I wanted to make sure I tailor it so that you can hear what I'm saying clearly. Not that I'll be yelling or anything like that, but I'm sharing my heart, because this is me. So this is you and this is us, and we represent all of this. So I want to ensure that we hear clearly that there's a call to action. What you can do, how you can do it, where you can go, and what time it is. And it's now o'clock. It is now o'clock. So whether your voice resonates in Washington or in your hometown, it matters profoundly where you are. Your experience is vital to our existence. Right now, decisions are being made about your life and the life of those that you love. So whether you choose to show up or not, this isn't just at the voting booth come this election season. This is every day, showing up for yourself, showing up for those that you love. So are you going to allow others to dictate your fate, or are you going to stand in your power and demand the change that we desperately need? I can't say it no louder than this. Black mothers, daughters, and families, we are truly facing life or death realities in reproductive health care. That's including birthing justice, reproductive, postpartum, prenatal care, and bereavement support. These outcomes are not just mere statistics. They represent our loved ones, our community, and we cannot allow their stories to be silenced or overlooked. It's been time for us to take action at every level, state, county, and local, because these policies that are created today are going to shape the future for generations to come. So I need you. We need you. But most importantly, you need you. The generation that exists now and for the future generations to come. So let's reimagine reproductive and birthing healthcare outcomes to ensure that every Black life is valued, honored, and protected. These policy changes, they must happen now for the future we all deserve. That's why these surveys are so critical and so important. So the question is, it is now o'clock. Are you going to rise? Are you going to use your voice? Are you going to not let your experience be in vain? Are you going to let your voice be heard? Are you going to share your story to make an impact? If you have a mother, if you have a daughter, you have a niece that is in your life that is yet to plan or unplanned to bring a child into this world, and she's melanated, understand that this happened to everybody for sure. But the data that is being reported, that has been reported since the 1600s, that's a whole nother video, whole nother conversation, and that we see no changes in it. Now we have the power. We can stand in our power. We can stand in our authority and have your voice be heard. And I understand. I was one of those ones too. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to vote. There's no point to share my story. Nothing changes. But if that is the purpose, if nothing's changing because no one's saying anything, and I'm expecting somebody else to do it, or I'm expecting a handful of people to get it done, or I'm expecting somebody that looks like me to make those decisions, but what's happening? People who don't look like you are representing you, and they're making decisions on your behalf. Why? For things you don't say, for the things that you don't address, and things that you don't say that you need. That's one angle. But let's talk about what we create. Let's talk about the issues at hand within our own community and the conversations that we're not having with each other. about the things that we don't know. So we keep talking about all these things external, but let's look internally. We can talk about the conversations about, what we didn't learn in school or what we weren't taught at home for the few generations past. But now if we're saying, listen, sis, we got to get back to another type of norm because we're dying. I shared a video. Now I know the algorithm on social media, they kind of like control what you see, what you don't see, or how much of something you see or you don't see. So if you're seeing this, know this was for you. And if you are a male, trust me, share it with your sister, share it with your auntie, share it with your mother. And I charge you to ask. Ask your mom, ask your auntie, ask your sister, ask the next black woman you run into in the community, ask her, has she had an experience? Oh, but those are the things we're afraid to ask, right? Those are the questions we're afraid to ask somebody. We don't ask. And that's part of the problem. So we're going to normalize talking about our experiences, our birthing experiences, whether they were good or bad. Because don't get me wrong, definitely want to shout out the providers who have successful outcomes, birthing outcomes, right? Definitely want to give it up to them, because it's not just the provider. It winds up being the team. It winds up being the front person who schedules the appointments, that makes it an experience for you to get from trimester 1 all the way to a successful outcome. So we definitely want to highlight and shout them out. But guess what? Even in the survey, you can say that. You can let us know that. What's working well, not just what's not working well. So we can have enough data to support the representation of us all. But it matters for you to take the survey. It matters for you to show up when we're having events and workshops and conversations about this for us. When they're created for you, for me, for us. That we're showing up for it, because it might not be you today, and you might think, oh, that's not me, that's not my story, it doesn't affect me. But it does. It affects us all as a whole, as a community. Oh, but we got away from that. We got away from what true community is. Yep, I understand. But there are those of us who are out here attempting to restore, to recover, and to rehabilitate our own. Let it not be a fight against us to do that. Not everybody's Christian. This isn't a Jesus thing. This is a we thing. This is a people thing. This is the humanity thing. Or let's go a little deeper. It is the spiritual responsibility of us all being spiritual beings, having human experiences in this earth. Some of us know our assignments. And if that resonates with you, you need to be over here. You need to be over here where we're advocating, where we're doing our due diligence to rewrite policies. We're doing our due diligence to bring awareness. We're doing our due diligence to heal, to remember, to act. And that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, here's an opportunity for you right now to take both the surveys. They take less than 10 minutes. Take both the surveys. You don't have to put your name if you don't want to put your name, to be anonymous. But if you take the survey and you complete it, I want you to just put a thumbs up on this post, whether it was for you or if it was for somebody that you love. Who else is going to tell their story? So that's that for the day. So in addition to that, here's an opportunity for us to honor those who have already lost, who've experienced that loss. In observance of Pregnancy Loss Awareness Month, we are having our 3rd annual community memorial event. Why? To honor those who've gone before us, our babies, our parents, those who we've lost to drug addiction, those who we've lost to suicide, and gun violence, and many more. It's an opportunity for us to come together as a community, to support each other, to love on each other, and just provide a safe space for us to celebrate the lives, not just to mourn. And people will come from all stages of their grief. But there are going to be people there also who are a little further along, who can help you navigate. So if that is something that you are interested in and you want to be a part of, here's your call to action. Show up. We're just saying show up. Now, although registration is not required, it's recommended. Why? Because the park that we're having it at, Valley View Park, which is 100 Baxter Street in Coatesville, has limited space for parking. So I need those who are planning to attend to please register and let me know if you're going to be driving, because we do have to be mindful of the parking and within the community. We don't want to block nobody's house. We don't want to cause any of those type of issues. So it is important that you let me know. And I'm looking forward to it. I am charged up today. I'm charged up because I realize how important this is. And I realize and I understand those who've gone before me, who have advocated for justices, who've advocated for rights in their time that they knew that they weren't going to see come to fruition in their time. But I'm living it. I'm living in it. I'm living in it right now. For the choices and decisions that they made in on it for a purpose because they saw something that was greater than them. We are in that time now. And there are those like myself who are accepting their assignment to do their due diligence, to do their part, to use their word, to use their purpose, to use their influence to help others see. And that's something that we can do. And like I said, I'm not worried about, I'm not worried about what they're doing in Washington. I'm worried about what's happening when I go outside my door and I look to my left and to my right. Or I look down the hill. Or I walk to the park. Or I take a stroll down Main Street. I'm worried about those people that I see. Those people I can touch. Those people I can speak to. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about us. So will you do your part? Will you let us know what your experience was? So we can put together those policies and those bills that are going to help us have our voices heard where it matters, and charge those who are in positions of power to make some things happen. And if you're not there, if you don't see the representation for yourself, then let that be your charge to get involved. You might not see yourself in politics. I know I don't. But at the same time, what can you do from where you're at with what you have? What can you do? We need all of it. We need the marches. We need the protests. We need those who are going to take advantage and become politicians, become judges, become policymakers, become researchers. We need those who are going to get into the healthcare field, become doctors, become OBs, to become radiation technologists. We need everybody. We need everybody. You can go the natural way. You can go the clinical way. But either way, it goes. We have to have representation. So we're going to get back to that. Look forward to some focus groups that are coming up that you might want to participate in to continue to have your voice heard. It's not over. This is just the beginning.